Okay, welcome and hello back to Banished. Well, I say back because yesterday I was recording and let's just say that the recording software I was using completely failed. Okay, why don't we play in a village called Bones Villeford? Why would you call something Bones? To forespell doom or something? Large, fair, disasters on, and starting conditions mean not easy because that would be way too easy, and not hard because that's basically impossible with this game. At least for me and at least for now. And I prefer usually valleys because mountains can be a pain in the neck when you're trying to actually build something decent and compressed. So one of the first things you must never ever do in this game is accept nomads. Like, the moment you do, your village is doomed. It will die. It may take a few years, but it will die the moment you actually accept nomads. It's one of the first mistakes. One of the things you first want to do is actually open these things up and put them in a way that you can easily always see it. I usually prefer this setup where I have this a little thing on the left, these two on the right, and that on the bottom. Now one of the things you're gonna have to, that's the wrong one. One of the things you're gonna have to do is to actually increase the limits, because otherwise you're gonna be bugged by it from the very beginning. For now, this should do. And one of the other things you want to do, since this is medium, and this is actually what I wanted to actually, avoid by taking valleys, to be surrounded and limited to what I can do. Anyway, one of the first things you want to do since you're medium is build a boarding house. Because otherwise, your people have nowhere else to go. Which is usually a very bad idea, because then they have no place to warm up, no place to take their food, etc. Second thing you want to do is, if you look here, you can see that the stockpile is already 67% full. One of the other things you want to first do in the game is put down a stockpile. I always prefer putting it here for some reason. Don't know why. The barn is for now okay. We have potatoes as usual, iron tools and coats. To get started, one of the things we also have to do is to collect the resources around, because otherwise we're gonna have a very big scarcity? Scarcity? One of those words. Okay, now that that's done, I'm gonna let them do that. And I'm gonna actually see where I'm actually gonna put a forest cluster. So it's gonna be quite a task to figure out, considering that there's not enough forest area to actually have one. Except maybe here. It's a bit far though. Log is low. Sure. Okay, yeah, sure, I'll put it here. Don't exactly have much options now, do I? So, somewhere with enough area for... There we go. Let's pause this for now. We don't need a woodcut in the beginning, but we will need food urgently. So gatherer's hut and then hunting cabin. The hunting cabin can wait. And we need the most urgent is the gatherer's hut. Okay, since this is medium and the first thing we've done is build a boarding house for, let's say, from year 2 you're gonna have to build 1 or 2 houses. Because otherwise your population will stop increasing and start decreasing. Which, as you might figure, is a problem when your population only dies. So, for resources wise, these are done, and of course they can't continue until I actually put some builders. So see, the laborers can remove trees, stones, iron, whatever's in the way, and they can actually put resources in the building. But only the builders can actually construct it. So it's like, laborers can prepare it, which is usually good when you don't want to put any builders and you don't need the building immediately, but you need the people. Yeah, it says it's slow, but that's a lie. They just put it there. And since it doesn't get registered in storage, well, it says that it's slow, but it's not. Your people are fine for now. One little bug that I've noticed so far is that at some point in some times in the game, it just randomly says the amount of food is low, which is bull, considering that half the time when it says that, it's above 2,000. Last time I checked, 2,000 for a population of 20 to 30 people is not low. You can usually last a few years with that. Well, of course, if you're also gathering some food out of this. Okay, since this is so far away, I'm gonna have to actually put some houses around, just so that the people won't have to go so far. Resources wise, I'm fine for now. I'll just put one in the gatherer for now, because otherwise it's gonna be an issue. And that's the first time I actually see that. Someone has died from weaker heart. Okay, sure, why not? I think cabin is almost ready as well. That's a lot of kids being born. And another thing we're gonna have to build is a storage barn so that they can actually put their stuff there. I don't think that stockpile is needed because, well, yeah. One thing you can put here though is the woodcutter. I mean, the wood is here and it needs to go to a stockpile, so let's just put it here, shall we? Actually, I should have put one below so that the road passes through it. Never mind. For the forester, we start with 1. We don't want it to cut anything yet. The reserve stone is low. Another thing, you have to see where the influence radius of the forester lodges and take away all the stone and all the iron, because otherwise no trees can grow there. Which is basically just a wastage of space for you. So, there we go. That's the hunting cabin, so hunters. 1 as well. At least until I'm done gathering resources, then I'll start putting more people there. These people are freezing already. That's great. I'll put a road to connect. Don't want him to die already. That would be a very sad record. It's not even snowing. And I don't even know if this is actually high or low. So now that we've built kind of everything that's to build, let's just put another house. Because we started in medium, we don't have any animals to start. Meaning for now the pasture is kind of pointless. If you want animals, you're gonna have to put a trading post here and make sure you have a lot of tools, a lot of valuable stuff you can sell. Anyway, I'm gonna quickly put this to see what they're doing, because otherwise okay, the woodcutter, there you go. And there's someone actually working there. Tools is low, so I'm gonna have to put a blacksmith here already. And a tailor as well. Usually just place them at the same time. There you go, and the tailor. Another thing you're gonna soon figure out with these two is that you're not gonna put a worker there the whole time. You might even just have one worker switch between these, because there's not always textiles and there's not always iron and wood. Plus at some point 500 tools is a bit too much. These people need food. What the hell? Okay, I get it. Yeah, I got a feel that they're gonna starve to death in a few moments. trees. Because of course I usually don't have the forester clutcher this far away. Yeah, there we go. There's starvation. Usually when you start with a valley you can have more or less this whole area without mountains nearby. With maybe the odd one here and the odd one there. Yeah, I know that there's no one to replace them. So yeah, that kind of screwed up. Because if you check, this is hardly anything to work with, and then you just have this area nearby. There's not much I can really place here. This, if it goes bad, this might be the shortest one I've ever played in medium. But still, those are basically the basics still, so... And it usually works unless you're unlucky, like in this case. First thing, boarding house. Second thing is stockpile. Forester cluster. A house now and then. And you'll soon... This thing, the event log, will tell you what you're missing. If it tells you're missing tools, you better also build a tailor. I'm actually wondering what my builder is doing. The road. Okay. Usually you want to build a road because it actually makes your people go a bit faster, and of course each road does different things. Okay, not even a tunnel can help me at this rate because everything's surrounded by freaking mountains. And this is what I meant in the beginning, that you're gonna need to increase limits. Might also take a while to update. There we go. Also, if you got a tavern, one of the materials you can always use are berries, which, when your trees of choice are not alcoholable, not sure if that's a word, probably not, but you still understand what I'm saying, then you just use berries. They're one of the easiest things to gather the moment you put down a gatherer's hut. Also, by year 5 you'll want to put a school, because otherwise your population is not going to be able to do that much work in the amount of time that they should. Basically, a school makes sure that they actually work better, more efficiently. It might take 2 years between them becoming a student to an adult, but still. Basically takes 4 years for a child to be born and for it to become an adult if you put a school. Otherwise it just takes 2 years. Maybe a little bit less than 2 years. But just by a little bit. I'm really wondering what else is going on. Absolutely nothing is being built. The road seems to be done. And 3 children were born. Great, sure, why not? So it'd be nice if at some point they had something else than just deer to roam around, because it's one of the only few things you can actually look at. In the beginning, if I started in a good spot, like near a river where I don't have to worry about building wells when I have disasters on or stuff, one of the first things I also do is I put a trading post. I'm just gonna leave that there. 400 is more than enough. The reason why I build one already is because sometimes you might have too much of one resource but lacking in others. One of the most common ones is you have too much food, you have too much, sometimes iron, you have too much firewood, but you need stone, you need wood, you need sometimes food and a pitch. We might need tools because you were dumb and you forgot to actually add it. Yes, I've done that mistake a few times. I just completely forgot about adding a blacksmith, and then people start working really slowly to their death. Because of course they can't get enough food quickly, and they keep eating it, and there's no food, no nothing, and just because I forgot to put a blacksmith. So don't make the mistake. Ever. Another little thing that you might want to know is that the more trading posts you put, the more vendors that are actually gonna come. If you put 2, then it's like in each trading post there's a timer or something. I don't know exactly the time it takes between visits, but each trading post has its own timer for a vendor. So if you, for example, have 10, there's a chance that there's always going to be a vendor at one of your trading posts. If you have the option to actually have a very populated area in a very small space, you might want to consider putting a market in the middle. Because something that the citizens will do is starve each other to death if there's no market. This basically means that you have the storage barn here, for example. You have this house that's the closest to it, so it always has first dibs on the resources that are in here, meaning that they can take as much as they want. More than what they need, usually. The second house takes longer to get there, and there's not that much left. But they still take as much as they want. Just more than they need, probably, and then so on and so on, and at some point there's going to be a house that doesn't have enough for what it needs just because everyone else took more than they needed. A market prevents that. It actually makes sure that everyone has the same amount, that not the same amount, but the amount that they need for the people living inside it. And by the way, you might want to consider, not having too many kids at the same time. Because they actually devour the food, and they're kind of useless until they grow up. I still really want to know what the hell's going on with the builder. And for it to stop moving the freaking... Stop! There you go. Nope. Stop. They should also add an option where it's easy to click happiness, not that high. Boohoo. Picking up resources. Are you actually doing anything with those resources? One thing that you might want to do to increase someone's happiness is to add a school, add a hospital, add a cemetery, and add a chapel. Or have it give the people a healthy diet. Or just herbs to substitute a healthy diet. It also works. Usually another thing with herbs is that you can sell them. Usually you have more than what you can actually use. That's gonna happen really quickly. That's why I'm not really bothered right now to actually build one. Not only does it build resources and actually postpone what I'm trying to build here. Okay, now it's at least putting some logs in there. And here as well. That's nice. It's also gonna postpone everything else because it's gonna use more resources since I don't really need that right now. So far year 3 not dead yet, that's a good feat. A few died on the way. But the population's still doing okay. Food is increasing. This tiny forest is becoming denser. I usually try to have multiple of these clusters. Always out of range of each other because it's easiest. And have them switch between plant and cut. So if this one gets dense, I put this one to cut and put the other one to plant, for example. It's also, it helps cut down on the population and still have a constant income of wood. So yeah. Yeah, the woodcutter still... The thing is, I still have 400 firewood, I really don't need any more. Maybe, oh, I have actually 6 laborers, I didn't see that. Okay, sure. Maybe I should put a tunnel through here just to gather the stone and iron. It's not really a waste, since I'm gonna need them until I have a bigger population. It's kind of pointless to put a stone cutter and a miner. Not a stone cutter, a mine and a quarry. Meantime, I can still take this. Opla. from the basics, there's not much really I can say for now, but afterwards I can try on another map, try finding one with proper valleys where I can actually show what I actually usually do that actually gets the game rolling and not dying. But yeah, this covers the basics. So anyway, I'll see you in the proper next video, in the proper next playthrough, and I hope you enjoyed this.